U of L Health appreciates veterans and their sacrifice for our country. They are a proud sponsor of the Honor Flight, and joining me to tell us more is veteran Aaron Garfola. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you so much for your service.
Thanks, Elle. Appreciate being here.
So tell us a little bit about U of L's Health, and I actually didn't realize this. You have a veteran employee research group.
We do. So we're relatively new as a health system, right? Only about 5.5 years old. And so we're really looking for opportunities to have our minority groups represented. And so employee resource groups are a great way to do that. And the first one we started was the veterans group. As a veteran and an executive, they asked me to be the executive champion of that group. And we're just a couple years in. And we're really just trying to get connected with our veterans. So there's only about 2.5% of our workforce that are veterans, about 350 of us. And they self-identify as veterans. And so we have to ask if they would do that. And so we're trying to get awareness out there to say, hey, we want you to be a part of this group so you can help us organize events and just kind of help each other.
Yeah, I feel that some veterans don't really like to talk about their time in the service. So why is it so important for those to kind of step up and really get involved with this?
Yeah, we're a little stubborn as veterans. Sometimes we really don't like recognition, and so it's easier.
You guys are so humble.
Yeah, it's easier for us to be in the shadows a little bit sometimes. So encouraging us to get out and talk is kind of difficult. But really the best way to connect with that is to say we're going to help our veteran patients. And that's something us in healthcare can always get behind. And right now it's just a matter of identifying those veterans. So we're looking at getting bracelets specifically made for them. So you know when you come in the hospital, you get the little white bracelet.
Yeah.
We're trying to get one that's a little different colored so that when people see that, they'll say, oh, I want to thank you for your service. And then there's so much more that goes beyond that with getting connection to things that are outside of here. We could have an opportunity to build a ramp for you if you have a new diagnosis with a wheelchair. So there's so much more that we can do with VA benefits if we know who you are.
Absolutely. And what is the building process to recognize and thank patients who are veterans? You mentioned the different colored bands, but what other things are you kind of working on right now?
Yeah, so that's the first step. You know, you see the band, it's the visual representation that says this is a veteran, I want to thank them for their service. The second part of that is no patient dies alone, right? So if you've got a veteran that for whatever reason their family has passed on before them, we have a group of folks through our chaplain service and others that could come sit with that veteran. So there's a lot of things that are still in the works for us, but those are a couple ways.
Absolutely. And of course the Honor Flight, it's taking flight tomorrow, T-minus 22 hours to be exact.
Right.
And so why was it so important to be a sponsor for such a magnitude event?
Well, it's hard to say no to the support of this, right? Especially as you heard Jeff talking about earlier, the 98-year-old World War II veterans. Yeah. You know, as a veteran myself, the first time I was ever on a flight was to go to basic training.
Oh my gosh.
And I, of course, was nervous and scared and whatever else.
Yeah.
And sometimes veterans come back and that's the last time they're on a flight. So for us to be able to give back to them and say, this is an opportunity for you to go to the DC area and look at those monuments that mean so much to them and maybe those that they've lost and want to honor is a huge honor for us.
Absolutely. And, you know, we're taking a look at the welcome home. And have you been to this yet?
I have not. I would love to go to one. I've seen the emotion through some of the films like this, but no, not been a part of it myself.
I know. I haven't been either, but our very own Brooke Hash did a whole documentary about the last honor flight that she's been on, and it is such an emotional experience. So to have U of L Health back behind it is just equally as powerful. Absolutely.
We're excited to be a part of this.
So, you know, throughout the different, you know, the employee resource group, are there like other events that you're trying to put on or anything that we kind of need to be aware of? Yeah,
so we do a Veterans Day organization kind of thing event. We've done that for the last couple years. We're trying to get out into the community a little bit more.
Yeah.
And 22 Challenge actually has their ruck walk this coming Saturday.
Oh,
so
okay.
We're partnering with them to go. It's a free event, so if you're not familiar with that, go to 22challenge.org and check it out. Really the organization exists because of the 22 veteran suicides we see a day. So raising awareness for that fact and then getting resources available to those veterans that don't have access to those resources. So we're trying to partner with other groups that have already been there. Obviously they've been around and done it for a long time, and since we're new, we want to learn from that and not recreate the wheel.
Absolutely, and getting that awareness out. Memorial Day is also coming up, so a great time to kind of get involved and get the word out. So again, thank you so much for coming by today, and again, thank you so much for your service.
Thank you so much.
So again, to learn more about U of L Health, just go to uoflhealth.org.